Hi, my name's Phil, and I'm the co-founder of Pedagogical. When I was a history teacher teaching GCSE at Excel history, especially coming up to the exam time, I found it difficult to provide feedback to my students at a cadence that they wanted. So they were always asking me for, to mark their essays. And obviously, I did want to do that, but it was quite hard to keep up the cadence. And also, it was hard to kind of keep track of how their historical understanding was developing. So we built a feature at Pedagogical which we think can help with that. So I'm going to show you a demo of how a student can submit an essay for an assignment and get instant actionable feedback based on the specifics of kind of like edXL history. And then I'm also going to show you how you can look at the instructor dashboard, which is going to show you some insights on your whole class and your individual students. So first, the student types in the teacher email. In this case, we're going to be looking at this question: the role of local communities in the Middle Ages. This is part of the crime and punishment thematic topic in the GCSE history article curriculum. So the student can upload their essay as an image. So they can take a photo of their essay if it's handwritten and upload it. And the conversion to text is really good, actually. We've worked quite hard to make sure that that's really good because we know that most of the students will do it by hand. In this case, I've actually already done an essay, just to show you an example. And I'm just going to put in a random student email as an example. So the reason for the student email is just to identify who's submitted the essay. Okay, so the essay I've just submitted there, I actually specifically tried to write an essay that only focused on tithings, because in the question you can see tithings and trial by ordeal are the two bullet points that are provided. So I've just focused on tithings, haven't really discussed trial by ordeal in this essay, and therefore I'm assuming the feedback from the AI hopefully is going to point that out and give me some actionable ways to improve. At the same time, it's also going to provide levels for each of the two assessment objectives, and also spelling, punctuation, and grammar. The student's not going to receive those though. They're going to go to the instructor dashboard. And for the feedback and for the marks, these are optional things that you can add when you're creating the assignments. You don't have to have the AI provide suggested levels. And the second thing to say on that is that these levels are indicative. We don't think anyone should be, wholeheartedly trusting AI to provide levels for students. They're kind of just indicative at this stage. And but if you want the AI to provide a suggestion of what the levels are, then you can select that option when you're creating the assignment. Okay, so you can see the feedback. As I said, it's really actionable. Every time a student will receive one thing they've done well. In this case, you've explained the role of tithings. One thing they need to improve, considering exploring more about how the tithings are other aspects like church courts or the King's Justice. And again, these are obviously outside of the bullet points, so this is good. This is what you actually do want to do in the 16 marker. And it's got some sentence starters. Okay, and if so, at this stage, some students, this is all they need. They can just use this to improve. Some students might want to go further, and they can actually look into, okay, how can I actually look at second order concepts like causation, historical significance, etc. And again, I got sentence starters. I can promote my deeper thinking about thinking about social relationships, the long-term effects, etc. Okay, so this is essentially the short and long feedback the student receives. Now I can go back to the instructor dashboard. So these are all my assignments that I provided across my classes. And already quite a few students have submitted their essays. And I can see some overview kind of analysis. I can see that, generally my students are doing quite well in terms of spelling, punctuation, and grammar. And also, in terms of the knowledge and understanding and the second order concepts, most of them are getting level 4 for both of those. Most of them are getting level 3 for both of those, so that's good. I can also generate whole class feedback if I want to get a summary of how all my students are doing. Similarly, I can actually just look at the feedback each of these students has got. So I can see Phil actually was struggling here. They got 10 out of 20. And I can also see Sam and Nana. I can see John. I can see Ed. So I can get a quick overview of how things are going. This is the one we just looked into. I can go in here and I can see, okay, they're getting level 3. And this is an explanation of why they've got level 3. It's not level 4 because details around the variations in the effectiveness of tithings across regions isn't explored, so I haven't got to level 4, this student. And another useful feature is that I can actually generate a model essay. So let's say I want to see what a level 4 essay looks like. I can actually generate this model, and I can do that for any of the levels. So this could be useful for perhaps to show students different leveled answers for a question. And again, this is fine-tuned and is specific to the Edexcel GCSE 16 marker. So it's going to provide more kind of appropriate output compared to using a more general model, basically. So hopefully you can see how this allows students to get really quick, frequent feedback, but also allows the teacher to see how the students are getting on and how their historical thinking is developing over time. This is a new feature. We currently have 3 schools using it. And if you would like access to it, just please let me know. Please email me or organize a conversation via the Calendly link, which I'll put in the post. Thank you very much.